Everything you think you know about yourself is incomplete. You've been raised to believe you are a body, flesh and bone, a brain in a box, a machine with thoughts, moving through time. But that is only 25% of the truth you were meant to know. Because you are not one body, you are four. Four energetic layers, four frequencies of experience, four interlocking dimensions of self, stacked like hidden gears in a cosmic engine. Your earth body, the physical form. Your water body, the emotional frequency. Your air body, the thought architect. Your fire body, the spiritual flame within. And the reason life feels off is because you've been trying to function like a symphony, with each instrument playing in a different key. One part of you wants to move forward. Another part wants to hide. One part is exhausted. Another is dreaming big. And together, they crash into each other in confusion, contradiction, and collapse. You feel it in your energy, that invisible tug-of-war between your thoughts, your emotions, your body, your soul. It shows up as fatigue, self-sabotage, looping patterns you can't escape, a deep knowing that something is misaligned, but no language for what or why. This is not a character flaw. It's a structural misfire. Because here's the truth. Most people are operating with only 25% of their true system online, trying to upgrade their life, while still running a single body consciousness. What happens when you try to run a multi-core processor on a single outdated chip? Lag, overheat, system crash. Reality isn't failing you, it's your interface that's out of sync. But the moment you realign all four bodies, you stop being a passenger in your life and start becoming the programmer. This is not about fixing what's wrong. It's about awakening what's already there, dormant beneath the surface. So ask yourself, what if the reason nothing fully works is because only 1/4 of you has been trying? When your system syncs, you don't just feel better, you unlock energy most people never access. If you've only been living through one body, no wonder your life feels misaligned. Let's break the rest wide open. Let's start at the base. The layer most people believe is the whole. Your physical body, flesh, bone, nerves, breath. But the earth body isn't just a container. It's not just the meat suit. It's the foundational interface for everything you experience. And just like the earth itself, it's built to receive, transmit, and regulate frequency. Your skin, a bioelectrical interface. Your cells, microtransmitters of charge. Your posture, your movement, your breath, all influencing how energy flows through you. But here's where it breaks down. We no longer live in environments that support the body's natural rhythm. We spend hours indoors, under synthetic light, on artificial surfaces. We eat food with no life force. We breathe shallow air. We sit. We scroll. We disconnect. And this disconnection isn't just physical, it's electrical, energetic. Because your earth body is designed to ground into the field of the planet, the earth pulses at 783 Hertz, a frequency that restores the nervous system, regulates hormones, and synchronizes brainwaves into balance. But if your feet never touch the ground, if your system never gets to discharge, you begin to hold a residual charge of stress, anxiety, and fatigue. Your body, like a circuit board, overheats, not because it's broken, but because it was never meant to operate in isolation. Now add this. Your earth body also stores unprocessed experiences, memories your mind forgot, but your tissue remembers. Muscle tension isn't always physical. It's emotional. Postural distortions mirror survival responses from years ago. Your body is your subconscious made tangible. So, how do you realign? It begins with daily energy hygiene. Think of it as a frequency reset protocol. Movement, not to burn calories, but to release stored charge. Walk, stretch, shake. Sunlight, 10 minutes a day on bare skin. It activates mitochondrial power and circadian balance. Breath deep, full diaphragmatic cycles. Every breath recharges the field. Stillness, sit or lie on the earth. Let your nervous system return to coherence. Hydration, pure water equals conductivity. Your cells are electrical. They need fluid to transmit. This isn't a lifestyle suggestion. It's a technical requirement. Your body is the hardware. And if the hardware is offline, no software, no spirit, no thought can function properly. So, honor the earth body, tune it, clean it, anchor it. Because when the body stabilizes, every higher layer above it finds its footing. If the earth body is your structure, then the water body is your signal. It's the emotional current beneath the surface. Shifting, flowing, surging, retreating. And just like water in the ocean, emotion is not random. It moves with invisible intelligence. Emotion at its core is energy in motion. It carries charge. It alters chemistry. It shapes behavior. And most importantly, it sends a vibrational signal out into the field around you. This signal is what the universe responds to. Not your words, not your goals, but the emotion you're broadcasting on repeat. And here's where it gets deeper. You are over 70% water, which means your body isn't just influenced by emotion, it's designed to record it. Water holds memory. Water responds to frequency. This was proven by Dr. Masaru Emoto, who exposed water molecules to different words, sounds, and intentions. Water exposed to love, gratitude, and peace formed intricate, crystalline snowflake patterns. But when exposed to hate, fear, or rage, the water collapsed into distorted chaos. Now consider this. If a glass of water reacts to a single word, what do you think is happening to the ocean within you? When your internal monologue is filled with guilt, anger, fear, every unspoken frustration stored, every denied feeling encoded, your water body becomes a vibrational archive of what you haven't let flow. This is why trauma lives in the body. Why emotion suppressed doesn't disappear. It hardens, it stagnates, it distorts the current. But water was never meant to hold, it was made to move. So how do you change the flow? You practice emotional alchemy. Here's how. Name the emotion, not the story, just the sensation, shame, grief, rage. Assign it a color. Let your intuition guide you. Visualize it, flowing like liquid light through your body. Breathe into it. On each exhale, imagine that color shifting. Ask it the key question: what is this feeling trying to teach me? That question changes everything, because you stop being a victim of emotion and become a translator of it. You don't bypass the feeling. You give it movement, meaning, direction. And when that happens, your water body becomes coherent, clear, responsive, aligned. Suddenly, the chaos calms. Synchronicity increases. People feel you differently because you've cleared the static in your field. Water holds memory, but you choose which memories remain. Because once you learn how to direct the flow of emotion, you stop drowning and start surfing. If your body is the hardware and your emotions are the electrical current, then your air body is the code. The mind, the thought field, the blueprint. Every reality you've ever lived began first as an idea. You don't experience the world directly. You experience it through your mental filter, the stories, symbols, and structures you've been trained to believe. Your thoughts aren't just reflections, they are instructions. Think of the mind like software, constantly running loops in the background. If I try too hard, I'll fail. I'm not good enough. Success is for other people. You don't even hear them, but they shape everything. Your posture, your choices, your ability to act. And here's the kicker. Most of those thoughts aren't even yours. They were installed by family, school, religion, society, programs running since childhood, never questioned. That's why reality won't change until the internal code does. So how do we change it? We don't argue with the mind. We reprogram it. This is where NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and autosuggestion come in. Instead of trying to be positive, we speak directly to the unconscious system in the language. It understands repetition plus imagery plus emotion. Try this. Every morning, speak this into the mirror. I am not the story I was given. I am the architect now. Even if it feels strange, keep going, because repetition rewires the pathways. Words repeated with emotion become beliefs, and beliefs shape behavior, and behavior shapes outcome. Now let's go deeper. To reprogram, you first must reveal the old code. That's where inversion journaling comes in. Here's how it works. Write down a goal. I want to be financially free. Now write this. Why don't I already have this? Let the raw answers pour out. Because I don't deserve it. Because money always causes stress. Because I'll lose friends if I succeed. You just revealed the real beliefs behind the scenes. Now invert them. I deserve abundance. Money supports peace. My true relationships grow with my growth. These are not affirmations. They are counter-programs. You are not forcing positivity. You're replacing faulty code with intentional command lines. Because when your thoughts align with your emotions and your mind aligns with your body, reality has no choice but to follow the new blueprint. We've touched the body. We've felt the waters of emotion. We've decoded the thoughts of air. But now, we meet the flame, the fire body, the spark within you that never dies, the will that keeps burning, even when everything else shuts down. This is your spirit, your vitality, your divine voltage. But fire isn't polite. It's not quiet. It doesn't ask for permission. It moves through instinct, desire, vision, drive. And that's why it's the most feared and the most suppressed. From a young age, you were taught to silence the fire. Don't be too angry. Don't be too intense. Don't want too much. Don't stand out. So what happens? The fire turns inward. It hides in the shadow. And instead of becoming the force that drives your soul, it becomes the weight that burns from within. Carl Jung called it the shadow self, the part of you that holds everything rejected, unloved, denied. But here's the truth they don't teach. The shadow is not your enemy. It's your fuel source. Your rage, when purified, becomes focused direction. Your jealousy, when understood, becomes a map to buried desire. Your pain, when faced, becomes radiant clarity. The fire body is transmutational. It doesn't store. It burns through, but only if you let it. Here's a technique that unlocks the flame without letting it consume you. Breathing into the fire, sit or stand tall. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply into the belly. On the exhale, imagine fire rising from your root, up through the heart and out through the crown. As it rises, let it burn through tension, shame, numbness. Breathe again and feel what's underneath power. Vision, vitality. This is sacred firework. You're not silencing the flame, you're purifying it. Fire is not just heat, it's initiation. It transforms. Yes, but only when allowed to burn with presence. It doesn't bounce, reflect, or store. It transmutes. And in ancient spiritual systems, fire was always the symbol of divine will, the part of you that chooses to act, to create, to declare, even in the middle of chaos. So ask yourself, what part of me have I been holding back because I was afraid it would burn too hot? Now ask again, what if that part, when guided, could light the way forward? Because you don't need to silence your fire. You need to purify it, and then let it lead. You've met all 4 layers of yourself: earth, water, air, fire, body, emotion, mind, spirit. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Just because you've met them doesn't mean they're working together. And that's where most people stay stuck. Your inner world becomes a battlefield, each body pulling in a different direction, draining your energy, fragmenting your focus. You want clarity, but your mind's racing. You want peace, but your emotions are chaotic. You want transformation, but your body's exhausted. You want to manifest, but your soul feels distant and numb. That inner conflict, it's not random. It's the result of misalignment. And when your 4 bodies are at war, no amount of goal setting, journaling, or vision boarding will override the dysfunction. Let's break this down with 3 common traps. 1. The spiritual bypass. You meditate, you journal, you raise your vibration. But deep down, you're carrying unprocessed pain. You've skipped over the emotional body, so your fire flickers out. Your affirmations feel empty. You're saying all the right things, but feeling nothing. The positivity loop. You think positive, visualize, repeat mantras, but your body is depleted. You're underslept, undernourished, disconnected from the earth. No wonder your thoughts never manifest. Your hardware can't handle the software. San, the emotional trap. You feel deeply. You're self-aware, but your mind loops in fear. Your spirit doesn't trust. You sabotage opportunities because your subconscious is still bracing for betrayal. Your emotion is strong, but it's pulling against your will. See the pattern. Misalignment isn't a mindset issue, it's an energetic equation. Each body sends its own signal, and whichever one is loudest dominates the field. Your reality will always follow the dominant vibration, whether it's body fatigue, emotional grief, mental doubt, or a spiritual disconnection. Think of it like a relay race. All 4 runners are on the track, but if even one refuses to pass the baton, the whole system stalls. And here's the key. You don't have to be perfect in everybody, but you do need to be aware. Start asking, who's running my life right now? Which body is in charge? And is it taking me where I want to go? Because when your inner system fights itself, no outer strategy can win. But when alignment happens, the signal becomes clear. Reality responds fast. Look up at the sky, the sun, warmth, light, gravity. But what if I told you, you've been looking at a mirror this entire time, because the sun is not just a star. It's a symbol, a source, azul. The ancients didn't just revere the sun because it grew crops. They knew something deeper, that what the sun does for the earth, your soul does for your life. The sun rises, your awareness awakens. The sun shines, your will expands. The sun sets, your spirit descends into reflection. This is not poetry. It's the physics of consciousness. And just like the sun moves through 4 seasons, so does your soul. Spring, awakening. The mind opens, ideas blossom, new energy begins to stir. This is the air body initiating insight. Summer, expansion. Your spiritual fire burns brightest. You take action. You rise into visibility. This is the fire body asserting will. Autumn, descent. The emotional waters stir. You release. You grieve. You recalibrate. This is the water body softening your edges. Winter, integration. Your earth body goes inward. Rest, stillness, embodiment. This is not death. It's gestation. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are moving through the same sequence from light to shadow, to light again, as above, so below. But here's what most people forget. Just as the earth absorbs solar light, your 4 bodies can be consciously recharged with it. The solar alignment ritual. Go outside at sunrise or sunset when the veil is thinnest. Stand still. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Visualize the sun's rays entering through the crown of your head like liquid light. On the inhale, imagine the light moving through body, heart, mind, soul. On the exhale, release any tension, density, or static. Speak aloud an intention. Let this light awaken every layer of me. Just 5 minutes a day, and you'll feel it. More clarity, more coherence, more energetic authority. Because the same light that nourishes the earth is the same essence radiating from your soul. And when you live in rhythm with that light, you stop seeking light. You start radiating it. You've seen the four bodies. You've felt where they conflict. But knowing isn't enough. Alignment is not a theory. It's a practice, a rhythm, a pulse you return to daily until coherence becomes your natural state. Think of it like tuning a four-string instrument. If one string is off, the whole chord sounds wrong. But when you take just 5 minutes to reset the tension, everything harmonizes. Let's simplify it. You don't need a long routine. You just need a system, a four-body breath-based reset ritual. Here's how it works. 1 breath, 4 layers. Every morning before the world grabs your attention. Step 1. Earth, the body check. Inhale deeply through your nose. Feel into your posture, your joints, your gut. Ask, what does my body need today? Is it movement, stillness, food, sleep? Let the body answer before the mind jumps in. Step 2. Water, the emotional flow. Exhale slowly. Tune into your chest and solar plexus. Ask, what am I feeling beneath the surface? Don't label it good or bad. Just observe the frequency. Let it rise without resistance. Let it move. Step 3. Air, the mental scan. Breathe in again, letting the air clear your inner dialogue. Notice what thoughts are looping. Ask, are these thoughts aligned with the future I'm building? No shame, just awareness. If not, replace with one sentence of power, I am choosing clarity today. Let that become your mental software for the next few hours. Step 4. Fire, the spiritual spark. Hold your breath for 2 seconds. In that stillness, ask, what am I here to remember? This isn't a question for logic. It's for your fire. You might hear a word, a feeling, a symbol. Let it anchor your day. Now, exhale everything. Feel yourself settle. Not just calm, coherent. You've just synchronized your 4 bodies in less than 5 minutes. Do this every morning, before phone, before food, and watch what happens. Clarity increases. Reaction decrease. Manifestation accelerates. Resistance fades. Because the body isn't fighting the mind. The emotions aren't overriding the will. And the soul isn't screaming into static. They're aligned, listening, flowing. So remember this. Alignment isn't a concept, it's a rhythm. Practice it daily, and life responds. Here's a law of energy most people forget. Nothing is ever lost. It doesn't vanish. It shifts. So what happens to all the pain? Fear, anger, shame, that you never dealt with. It doesn't go away. It buries. It recycles. It becomes the very force that shapes your decisions, your relationships, your identity. In short, everything you suppress becomes something you serve. Everything you face becomes something you command. This is the science and spirituality of transmutation. Alchemy wasn't about turning lead into literal gold. It was about turning inner density into clarity, converting suffering into spiritual fuel. And your four bodies. They're doing it all the time, but unconsciously. Let's look deeper. Every unprocessed emotion is stored tension. It lives in the body. It loops in the mind. It replays in the field. You keep calling it anxiety, but it's trapped motion. You keep calling it overthinking, but it's unmet grief, echoing through mental static. The only way out is through emotional breathwork, clearing the loop. Sit in stillness. Inhale through the nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Exhale through the mouth for 8 counts audibly. On the exhale, visualize a color connected to a memory or emotion. Let it leave the system like smoke. Repeat for 3-5 cycles until you feel the charge soften. This simple breath pattern activates the parasympathetic nervous system, releasing trauma imprints held in the water body. Now, let's add memory recoding. Bring to mind a moment that still haunts you. Not to relive it, but to recode it. Ask what was frozen. In that moment, what part of me got trapped there? Then breathe into it. Bring compassion. Bring the wiser self you are now into the memory. Visualize holding your younger self's hand and walking them out of the scene. Because trauma isn't the event. It's the energy that got trapped when you lost safety. Voice or power. When you re-enter it with consciousness, you liberate the stuck frequency. You reclaim the power locked inside it. This is what the fire body was built for, not to bypass pain but to transmute it. You don't reject the shadow. You alchemize it. Forge it into purpose. Let it rise as vision, clarity, sovereignty. Because once you stop resisting the raw material of your life, you gain the power to reshape it. Here's the truth they've buried in mysticism and scattered in science. You are the interface, the meeting point between energy and matter, between intention and outcome, between the soul and the simulation. Not a passive observer, but a conscious instrument through which reality is read, written, and rendered. You've heard, your thoughts create your reality. But let's take it deeper. Your dominant emotional frequency is what the quantum field responds to. Not your wishful thinking, not your goals on paper, not your mantras said without feeling. What you embody, what you vibrate consistently, that's what becomes real. This is the living mirror principle. Reality isn't reacting to your words. It's mirroring your charge. If fear is the strongest frequency in your field, you'll encounter fear-confirming events. If peace, power, and joy are stable within, you'll begin to meet opportunities that match that tone. It's not reward, it's resonance. So let's break it down. You're already broadcasting. The only question is, what station are you set to? Here's how to shift the signal intentionally. Step 1. Command. Close your eyes. Choose one area of your life you want to change: money, health, purpose, relationships. Then speak directly to the field. I now command my energy to match the frequency of underscore, 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 underscore. Choose abundance, clarity, love, vitality. Say it out loud. This isn't about begging the universe. It's about setting the frequency. Step 2. Embody now. Breathe. Feel what it would be like if it were already true. What does your body feel like when you're financially secure? How does your chest expand when you're in deep connection? What is your posture when you trust your mission? Anchor that emotion. Make it cellular. Because that sensation is your broadcast signature. You've just sent a new signal into the field. But it doesn't end there. Now comes the key most people miss. Step 3. Walk as if it's already done. Don't wait for proof. Become the proof. Act. Decide. Speak. Move as if that vibration is now your baseline. This is the bridge between the energetic and the embodied, between the unseen and the undeniable. Because here's the quantum law. The field responds to alignment, not effort, to coherence, not hustle. When you command, when you embody, when you walk in rhythm, reality bends to match you. So if your world has felt resistant, delayed, foggy, it's not because you're broken. You've never been separate. You've only been miscalibrated. And now you know how to tune the signal. Let's bring this full circle. You are not just a passenger in this life, not just a fragment of something greater. You are the center point, the interface where energy becomes experience and intention becomes existence. You are source, expressing itself in form, not as a metaphor, as a mechanism. Everything you've searched for: clarity, healing, power was never outside you. It was locked behind layers of noise, conditioning, and fragmentation. But now the signal is clearer. Now the system is syncing. Now it's time to embody, because you don't need more tools. You don't need more knowledge. You just need activation. And activation only happens when you begin living from your center. That's why today, I'm offering you something simple and powerful. The 21-day alignment challenge. For the next 21 days, make this your morning ritual. 1 breath. 4 bodies. Reconnect with earth body, water emotion, air mind, and fire spirit in less than 5 minutes. 1 command to the field. Declare. I am the architect of my reality. I walk in coherence. 1 aligned action. Move your body. Speak your truth. Shift your space based on the vibration you intend to hold. It's not about perfection. It's about resonance. You don't rewire your field through intensity. You rewire it through consistency. Because here's the final truth. You are not just using tools. You are the tool, the transmitter, and the temple, the hand, the pigment, the light behind the stroke. You are the space where creation occurs, the still point in the storm, the silence before the sound. And no, you weren't born to survive the painting. You were born to paint with light. Stroke by stroke, breath by breath, moment by aligned moment. So take a breath, step back into the center, pick up the brush, and begin again. This time as the creator